Has your Android smartphone been taking horrible pictures? Maybe you're just looking for a way to improve your smartphone's camera quality. Then I have an application for you. The Google Camera Mod application is an app that boasts the ability to bring the same software and image processing found on Google Pixel devices to other Android smartphones. Now, this can make a world of difference for the way you use your Android smartphone, specifically those budget Android devices which may have good hardware but let down by their software. Now, using this Google Camera Mod application, it can take your smartphone camera quality from 0 to 100 or at least a 70. In this video, we'll be exploring what the Google Camera app is, and then we'll be doing a photo comparison between images taken on the Google Camera app and the stock camera app on my Nokia 3.4 device. And lastly, we'll be answering the question whether or not you should get this smartphone camera app on your Android smartphone. Without further ado, let's begin. Alright, what's up guys, my name is Melvin, and if you're new to this channel, please hit that subscribe button, and if you do end up downloading the application in this video, don't hesitate to hit that like button. It means the world to me. Okay, for those of us who don't know, Google Pixel devices have taken some of the best photos on smartphone cameras for the past 6 to 7 years. They've not done this with amazing hardware or like extraordinary hardware or maybe 64 megapixel cameras or stuff, but they've done it on very limited hardware. In fact, they've used the same Sony IMX sensor for the past for 5 years or so in a row, which is just a 12.2 megapixel sensor, and they use this from their Pixel 2 to I think 5 or so, or maybe even up to the 6A. So imagine they've been producing some of the best filters in the game with just a 12.2 megapixel sensor. They've all done this on software. We all know Google is a software company, and they've used that same image processing to make their photos look amazing. Unfortunately for us, and for most of us other Android users, this app is not available on the Play Store. So if you want to get it, you have to get a modded version. We thank God for the amazing developers that found a way to make this application work on other devices. But there's a catch. This application has to be modified for each specific device. There's no one size fits all for every single device. So you have to search for Gcam for your particular device. For example, I'll search Gcam for Nokia 3.4 in order to find for my device or device I'll be reviewing in this video. Now, when you get this application, it might not work right off the bat. You might have to tweak some of the settings, try another application of the same kind from other websites like maybe Wichita or XDA developers and whatnot. These guys usually have a whole list of different Gcam modes that you can try out. Now, you might have to tweak some of the settings, like I said. You might have to change some of the HDR, some of the contrast. You might have to go to settings and turn on Google Auto White Balance. You might have to do so many other things just to try and make it work. Just have to keep trying, and if you have any questions, you can always drop them in the comments. I'll definitely attend to them and help you guys out. Now, the next portion of this video, we'll be discussing what the Google Camera app can actually do. That's what we're going to be doing. I'm going to do a photo comparison. I went out the other day and took a bunch of pictures on both the stock camera app on my Nokia 3.4 and the Google Camera app on my Nokia 3.4. So we'll just basically be comparing the photos and seeing if it actually makes a huge difference. Yeah, so let's proceed. Alright guys, so before we begin, I'd like to give a little bit of background information about this device. This is the Nokia 3.4. It's a budget Android device released by HMD Global sometime in 2021. The specifications include 64 gigabytes of storage, a 4 gigabytes of RAM, has a Snapdragon 460 processor, 30 megapixel main camera, 5 megapixel ultra wide camera, and an 8 megapixel selfie camera. I feel like a device like this is where Gcam will really shine because it has a Snapdragon processor, which is a budget processor, but it should be able to do a little bit of software image processing. And then the 30 megapixel camera is close to what you get on Google Pixel devices, or maybe like from the 1 to 5, where you get their 12 megapixel camera standard, and then also the 8 megapixel selfies where you get on Google Pixel devices too. So I feel like a device like this is where the Gcam can really shine. Okay, off to the next portion. I'll be showing you guys a bunch of pictures I took, but first I would like to display the images so that you guys can form your own opinions on them before I then review which one belongs to what camera and give my own analysis and opinions on the pictures. Alright guys, so now that is that, we can all examine the photos, or rather I can examine the photos. So the first one we have here is a picture I took on a rainy day, a rainy Sunday to be exact. The one above is the Google camera, and the one below is the Nokia stock camera app. I feel like here the Google camera has way more detail, but the color balance is so different between both of them. One has like a more greener tint, the other one has a bluer tint. But I think when it comes to sharpness and detail, you can see that the one above has way more sharpness. Just take a look at the crane in the background. Just zoom in. It's way sharper here than here. I don't know if you guys can see this, but you can tell the difference in sharpness. Even the cars just looks way more blurry on this, on the other camera. But on the Gcam, it catches way more detail. Yeah, even look at the car, the raindrops on top of the car. A bit better. So for this picture, I think I'll stick with the Gcam. I like the Gcam. Just the color, it looks a bit on the bluer side or on the greener side. So I think that's down to preference. I think I prefer the Gcam. Next picture we have here is just straight up subject photography. Okay, the one on the left is the Gcam and the one on the right is the Nokia stock camera app. And once again, the difference in color balance is huge. One has a greener tint on the right, the other has a bluer, more laid back tint. And it also comes down to preference as well. But I think when it comes to detail, the one on the left has way more detail compared to this. This looks like a blurry mess. It looks weird. This looks like a budget phone ticket. Like, it looks like a terrible phone ticket, like not an expensive phone whatsoever. The one on the left, on the other hand, just looks rich, like has way more detail, but the contrast in color is huge. Look at the grass in the background. The other one looks, the one on the stock camera looks so green. The one on the Gcam looks washed green, kind of washed in a way, but it's just the detail. I think all this can literally be edited in post. But I feel like this is just some traits of the Google camera because it goes for way more contrast, punchier looking detail than softer. This one looks much softer but with way more color. But just look at the difference in the stone floors. The color difference is huge. You guys can see that the color difference is huge. So yeah, I think it's just the matter of preference here. This one, the one on the left is sharper, the one on the right is way softer and smoother. It doesn't have as much detail. It looks way less way less expensive, or way less, you can tell that it's a budget phone. But at the same time, it has the color that this one is lacking. Obviously, you can still add color in post if you want when you're editing, but from a basic standpoint, I feel like the one on the right has way more color and better color reproduction, but the one on the left looks like a better overall photo. Yeah. So now this is portrait mode on both of them. The one on the right is the Gcam and the one on the left is the stock camera app. The one on the right looks so dark, but the one on the left also looks dark, but like around the face area it becomes brighter. But I think the one on the right has way more detail and the edge detection looks better, but I think it brought out part of her scarf. But the edge detection does look better compared to what we have here. Here, even the face looks blurry. I think her ear is missing as well. Yeah, but the color reproduction, once again, I think is even better in portrait mode. But yeah, this one is, I think I'll call this a tie. They look quite similar, but this one just looks sharper. This one looks a little bit blurrier, but it's way brighter. This one looks so dim. Obviously, again, you can always increase brightness in post, but it's very hard to get detail out of a picture that has no detail. Yeah, look at the color of the jeans, man. This is so blue. This is such a different color of blue. So I think it's all a matter of preference. But this one has way more color. This has way washed colors, but its sharpness in the face, you can see the difference. Now this is, wow. The one above is the Google camera and the one below is the stock camera on the Nokia 3.4, and off the bat I can tell that the one above is a much better picture. The one below looks blurry, or like this kind of fog above it or some haze. It just lacks detail. But again, the color difference is huge. The one above looks punchier, less yellow and whatnot, but it looks way closer to what was represented in real life compared to the one below. The one below looks somehow edited, but the lack of sharpness is just telling, and the fog on it. Why does it look like this? if this is the same camera, why would one app produce this and the other app produce this? Doesn't make sense. Not really, it doesn't make sense, but yeah, I think I prefer the one above. This is where you can see that Gcam is really showing its powers, like showing its difference. The sharpness above, the one above is way better than that of the one below. This one is definitely Gcam for me. Next one, this is the ultra wide camera. Yeah, ultra wide camera, basic. One above is Gcam, the one below is the stock camera. The stock camera below is quite brighter, looks brighter than the one above. The one above still looks sharper. The same fog present on the first picture is present here, so like just some kind of white haze around everything compared to the sharpness and punchiness of these ones. The sky is so differently represented in both pictures. The yellow wall haze represented so differently. But I guess it just comes down to preference. The one below looks brighter but lacks a lot of detail and has this white fog around it. This one looks like the color balance is so different from the one below, but it looks sharper overall, in my opinion. Yeah, I feel like I still prefer the one above on the ultra wides. And then here, I feel like here is when the color differences really start to show. The one above is the Gcam and the one below is the Nokia 3.4 stock camera app. So we can see that the one below has so much more color. Look at how pink the petals are. Look at how washed the green is on the one above. But this one, the green is so green. But for those of us who know these plants, we know that the petals are actually red, like a very strong, sharp red. This one, the one below is pink, so the color is way off, but it just looks punchier. I feel like Gcam gives an accurate representation of what is being seen, while the stock camera app tries to add a little bit of color science to try and make the picture look more appealing, or at the sacrifice of detail, maybe. But the one above gives you the raw image. Maybe if you want to edit it later, then it's fine. But it has way more sharpness and way more representative colors accurately. Look at the red. The red is actually what was perceived. This one is just pink. They just made it a whole different color. Even the green wasn't this green. But I guess they just think it's a bit more appealing to the user. Okay, now we have selfies. I think this is a normal selfies. The one on the left is the Gcam and the one on the right is the stock camera. The one on the left looks straight right off the bat much better in my opinion, because it just looks much sharper. The one just looks much sharper. The one on the right looks whiter, brighter around the face areas. I don't know what happened here. Why is there like a halo around my head for some reason? It looks weird. The one on the left looks cleaner. It looks better. Maybe just a little bit darker because this one tried to brighten my face up. I'm not that light skinned. I'm actually quite dark skinned. And this did it much better for me. I think this has accurate representation of skin tones. Look at the selfie camera. Just look at this, man. I prefer the Gcam all the way. This never competition. This picture on the right looks terrible. I will never post this or send this to anybody. It looks like a washed camera. It doesn't look like something an expensive phone took. Maybe the one on the left is also not what an expensive phone took, but it looks closer to what an expensive phone would take. It looks better. Simple. Alright, the last picture is portrait selfies, and it's just basically the same thing. The one on the right looks much brighter, but it just looks terrible. It looks blown out. The subject separation is not so good. Both of them actually blurred out my hair on the edges, but the one on the left is way more cropped in. This one is less cropped in, but this one looks better in my opinion. Once again, contrasty, more accurate representation of my skin tone. This one just makes me look brighter and like more light skinned, which I am not. And yeah, I think I still prefer the one on the left. So in my opinion, I feel like Gcam does it better. It takes a whole new approach towards your camera and it just looks better. I feel like you guys should try this out. And if you guys try it out and you end up enjoying it and keeping it and using it, then please, you guys should by all means like the video, subscribe, and comment any difficulties you're facing installing it and trying to use it. Just comment, I'll reply you and I'll help you guys. And if you do enjoy the app, then stick around. I'll keep posting things like this all the time just to help you guys in your day-to-day tech lives. Alright, till next time, Melvin out.